Let's kick this off with a truth bomb now. Piss off half of Instagram. If you are over 40, your joints don't give a damn about your PR deadlift or your Strava segment crown. Your knees, hips, shoulders, and tendons, they are accountants. Cold, bitter accountants. They track every rep, every mile, every late night, I'll just go heavy, bro, session, and eventually the bill will come due. So if you want to keep lifting and running past the age where your kids roll their eyes every time you grunt when you sit down, you need to understand durability, not muscle, not raw power, not even conditioning, durability. Because let's be clear, strength without durability is like buying a Ferrari and filling the engine with cooking oil. It looks good for a while until it explodes in a ball of tears and orthopedic bills. So today we're going to be breaking down how to manage joint stress during heavy training. Whether you're hammering deadlifts in your garage, pounding out trail miles, or pretending your kettlebell is Thor's hammer, we're going to be hitting tendons, ligaments, cartilage, nervous system adaptation, and the simple truth that if you do not respect biology, the biology will break you. So grab your coffee, grab your ego, and let's smash it. Let's start with some basics. Muscles adapt fast. They're like that friend who's up for anything. Road trip, sure. Random workout, fine. Taco Bell at 2 a.m., absolutely. Your gut might disagree with that last one. Tendons and ligaments and cartilage, though, they're like the grumpy old landlords. They hate change. They adapt painfully slow. Tendon collagen turnover is measured in months, not weeks. Cartilage recovery after stress is hours to days. Ligaments are so slow to adapt, it's basically like asking your HOA board to approve a new garage gym. Endless waiting, lots of complaining, and they still might say no. So when you get into heavy training, whether you're lifting or logging the long miles, you feel strong because your muscles will adapt quickly. But your connective tissue is lagging behind like a kid dragging their feet to school. That mismatch is where most over 40 injuries will happen. Patellar tendonitis, Achilles tendon pain, shoulder impingement, the infamous oh shit my back. These are not accidents, they're biological invoices. Durability means training in a way that respects that lag. Here's a simple framework. Load. That equals the stress you're placing on the body, your weight, your speed, your mileage. Then you have tissue tolerance. That's what your tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and bones actually can handle right now. So durability is about keeping those two in balance. If load spikes higher than tissue tolerance, congratulations. You just bought yourself some pain, inflammation, or potentially a 6-week forced vacation from training. And because we're older, the tolerance ceiling doesn't rise as fast as when you were 20, which means you cannot train like your old self. Sorry, nostalgia. Think of it like this: progressive overload, but with patience. That's the difference between being the 50-year-old who still runs ultra marathon and deadlifts 400 pounds versus the 50-year-old who says, yeah, I used to lift, but my knees now. Now, let's get into some meat. How do you actually manage joint stress? Well, let's start with the warm-up. It's no longer really optional. So you can stop half-assing your warm-up. If you want to know more about the warm-ups, we do have another video. I'll try to link it down below. Jogging in place for 30 seconds and cracking your knuckles will not cut it. So for starters, you want to start with hip openers, some shoulder mobility, maybe some band work. Prime that nervous system. And if you're doing running, maybe some strides, mobility drills, light plyometrics. Do a little bit of bounding maybe. Wake up the tendons before loading them. Think of it as like turning on the lights before walking into the basement. Now, tendons love slow, controlled loading. Think of it as eccentrics, lowering slowly type stuff. This will strengthen your tendon structure. And you have isometrics. Holding a position under load will reduce pain and build tendon tolerance. So an example on this, how to build your tendons up. You can do slow eccentric calf raises for Achilles, isometric wall sits for your knees, tempo squats instead of max out grinders. It's going to feel boring as hell, but boring is what keeps you lifting at 60 instead of limping around. Varied load and varied stress. Your joints hate monotony, more than they even hate heavy weight. That means you should mix surfaces if you run, trail, road, treadmill, and mix implements if you lift, barbell, kettlebell, sandbag, bodyweight. It's one reason why we teach all major movements on this channel. Mix intensity. Don't go heavy or long every single day. Durability thrives on variety. If your body always gets hit the same way, the weak link will break. You also want to be respecting recovery windows. Sleep is not optional. Collagen synthesis peaks at night. If you're skimping on sleep, you're literally robbing your tendons of repair time. Hydration, protein intake, collagen-rich foods, or gelatin. You're not weak for needing recovery, you're smart. Durability is earned in the gaps, not just the grind. And make sure you're doing smart scaling in progression. It's a big reason why we teach a lot of this stuff on this channel, because this is where ego usually kills people, especially the older athletes. So looking at deadlifts, start with RDLs, hip hinges, pause reps. If you're doing running, start with run walk intervals. If you're doing overhead work, start with landmine press before barbell press. Scaling isn't less than, it's the entry ticket to sustainable progress. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. You don't fight the dragon at level 1 unless you're one of those crazy hardcore people. Durability is not just physical, it's very much mental too. Because training this way is very boring. It's not Instagram sexy. Nobody's going to clap for your 3-second eccentric calf raises. Nobody comments beast mode when you take an easy run day instead of a tempo. It actually takes grit to build durability, to be patient, to put in the tendon time. When the grind feels too mundane, that mental armor keeps you consistent. This kind of training also requires a perspective shift. Durability training is like compound interest. It's slow, it's invisible. It feels like nothing is ever happening, but years of steady deposits and you are now rich. While your buddies are posting throwback PRs and nursing injuries, you'll still be out there lifting, running, carrying, moving, capable. Durability doesn't mean avoiding stress. It means managing stress smartly so you can handle more over time. It's the foundation of capability. All right, it's time to land this plane. Here's your no bullshit durability checklist. 1. Warm up like you mean it. 2. Add tempo and isometrics weekly. 3. Mix your training loads and tools. 4. Respect your recovery windows. 5. Scale smart and progress slower than your ego wants. And 6. Build the mental grit to stick with boring consistency. That's it. Not magic, not supplements, just biology and discipline. So managing joint stress during heavy training isn't about bubble wrapping yourself. It's about playing the long game. Muscles are fast, tendons are slow. Durability bridges that gap. If you want to still be lifting, running, and showing up decades from now, this is how you got to train. Not for that highlight reel, for the long war. When you're still grinding at 50, 60, hell, even 70, the people who once said durability is boring will be the ones watching from the sidelines. Durability is what keeps you in the game. Everything else is temporary. Now, go train smart. Go build durable joints and stop treating your body like it's a disposable, because it's the only damn one you've got. This is Dr. Matt, and we are Grit and Determined.